An electric Saturday gave way to a knee-jerk freak-out Sunday for fans of the Colorado Buffaloes and Coach Prime. We're going to tell you why you can calm down and what to expect moving forward. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to the Hall of Fame College Football Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Watkins. And if you love college football, you're definitely in the right place. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button, like our videos, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss one moment of the Hall of Fame College Football Podcast. Welcome back to the show, everybody. And what a eventful weekend all around the country as the second the second set of spring games took place at some pretty key places around the country: Alabama, Oklahoma, and yep, you guessed it, Colorado, where Coach Prime has taken up residence and continues to shake up the college football landscape. Now, first thing obviously you got to look at was what an amazing deal for the Colorado Buffaloes as a program. Just a year ago, they put about 1,800 people in the stands for the spring game. This year, 45,000 were on hand to watch Coach Prime's Buffaloes, led by Shedeur Sanders, his son at quarterback, electrify the stadium. Now, for everybody who wants to be a hater, haters. For everybody that wants to do that, to talk about maybe the defense isn't that good. It looked a lot better on Shedeur's side because they were going up against second stringers, blah, 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 blah. Maybe so. But maybe they needed to see something like this anyway. And if you were listening to Coach Prime all throughout the week, once the transfer portal opened, they started dumping players into it. Understandable. It kind of had to happen. But when this game started, 45,000 people in the stands. It was snowing, and you still had that many people out there, right? Once the game started, the fireworks did start with it. You had blocked kicks. You had broken plays turning into big plays for Shedeur Sanders. You had touchdown passes to Travis Hunter, to a guy and then to a 98-yard touchdown pass to a player in Montana Lemonious Craig, who it appears will no longer be with the Buffaloes come the fall. In any event, there was a lot to be excited about if you were in Boulder checking this all out. Not only did that 45,000 seat stadium fill up for the spring game, they have now sold their entire allotment of season tickets for the upcoming season as well. Will that mean that they have a huge season? Look, it's possible. Okay, it's possible. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that they're going to go out and win 11 games like Lincoln Riley and the USC Trojans did a year ago. I don't know that that's the case. I do think that they're going to surprise some people. I do think that when you look at a guy like Shedeur Sanders, the kid can spin it. Not only that, he is very much a threat to run out of the backfield. In this game, he had 2 touchdown passes. He also ran for another one. Big game for him, all right? A 98-yard touchdown pass. He had another one to Travis Hunter that you're going to see here on the screen as well. You know, I feel like no matter what you see right now, and there's probably plenty to see. If I'm looking at this with an objective eye, which I try to do, even though I believe a lot in Coach Prime, and I know that what he did at the HBCU level doesn't necessarily mean that what he's going to do in the Pac-12 is going to be the same thing right away. It may take a year. Are they going to win one game again? No, no. And let me tell you why. As of right now, at my last count, you're looking at about 15 players that are now in the transfer portal. Now, this set up alarm bells for a lot of folks. Okay. It did set up alarm bells for a lot of folks. You also had JuJuan Johnson, a 4-star cornerback out of Louisiana, who committed a couple of months ago to Colorado, decommit, and open up his recruitment once again. Then you had Montana Lemonious Craig, along with Chase Soul, 2 wide receivers that also elected to go into the portal on Sunday. Okay. Now, what does this all mean? First off, don't panic. If you're Colorado fans, don't panic. Okay. First and foremost, I don't think you saw a lot of Jimmy Horn Jr. the other day. I'm guessing that maybe there was an injury or something there. It was just not something that I saw. I know that they've been excited about him since the start of spring camp. He was the first player to earn his number, as Coach Prime was talking about. But it's not something that I would panic about. And the reason why is this: there were a plethora of top 150 players that were in attendance for this game. Okay. And really, there's not a lot of places around the country filled up the stadium the same way that Colorado did. The only one that was close was probably Oklahoma. I don't even think Alabama filled it up as much on A-Day, right? You look around the rest of the country, there just wasn't a ton of people in attendance for any of these spring games. Even Florida, they didn't fill it up. You know, a lot of these schools that you expect to fill their stadium every time there's anything going on didn't do it. Okay. Colorado did. So that's going to make an impression with recruits. Not to mention, it is still Coach Prime. Now, is he going to get everybody? No, of course not. Of course not. But as I said, you did have a number of top 150 recruits in attendance for this game, including Dylan Stewart, Williams Waneri, who I know really is crystal ball to go to Oklahoma for a reason. I still feel like he's headed that way. Aaron Butler, though, I mean, there was a lot of guys in attendance that they're looking to get. The other part of that I would say is, as bad as that defense did look for Colorado, if you were watching the game, and it was bad at times, it's kind of the same thing as I was saying about Oklahoma after their game on Saturday night. You can't have it both ways. Either the offense was going to look really good and the defense was going to look really bad, or you'd get somewhere in between to the opposite, right? If it was the opposite, obviously the defense is looking good, and then you're worried about Shedeur Sanders. What's it going to be? You know, the truth of it is, a lot of the guys that you're going to expect to be big time contributors weren't even on the field. Coach Prime said after the game that this isn't the same team that you're going to see come the fall. He's been talking about it all week. And guess what? Here's the deal. 15 players are in the portal. But they have 94 guys right now, at my last count, on scholarship. You're only allowed 85 scholarship players whenever it all gets started. What does that tell you? Do the math. You have to get rid of some of these guys. And just like he said whenever he walked in the very first day into Boulder, what did he say? May as well jump in the portal because I'm bringing my own luggage. And it's Louis, right? He's been filling up. He's got the number 1 transfer portal class in the country. 29 players have entered the program as of now. You expect that there's going to be some more. He's on the lookout for a lot of them. I don't know. He was even talking about it with the guys from ESPN during the game, after the game, right? That this was going to be a different team. And it is. Okay. Is the JuJuan Johnson decommit troubling? Maybe. It could be if you're a Colorado fan, and I'll tell you why. He's a cornerback. You expect cornerbacks to just automatically flock to the greatest cornerback to ever play the game. Okay. Um, but if you are in on this kind of player, a top 150 player, one of the best in the country at his position, right? 4 stars, and, and you're going up against schools like Florida, LSU, Alabama, Auburn, Georgia, the list could go on. You're going to lose some of them, even if you're Coach Prime. Okay. He's not going to get them all. And on top of that, he can't. They only have so many scholarships. It's the same thing I was talking about on the Oklahoma video yesterday. Some of these guys that were still Lincoln Riley guys that haven't really shown up and shown out yet, they're going to have to go. And you're starting to hear about some of that in the Oklahoma camp. The same is going to be true here. Am I ready to jump off of this ship and say that there's no way that Colorado lives up to all this hype? I don't know that you could possibly live up to all this hype, right? What I would tell you is they're going to be a ton better than they were a year ago. What does that end up in when it comes to win-loss record for 2023? I don't know yet. I mean, I think it's easy for us to speculate and say 7 games, and I even said that. I think it's easy for us to speculate and say they don't win more than 4 or 5. Either way you slice it, and in whatever side you come down on this thing, they're going to win more games than they did a year ago. It only stands to reason because of the fact that they have better players. Are they still a little shaky on the defensive side? Sure. Sure they are. Will they get better? Yeah, they will, right? And some of the guys they brought in that maybe we didn't see a lot of them yesterday, I don't know. What I would tell you is they stayed pretty close. They had some big plays on special teams. We're going to find out. They look a little small to me. I will say that. But I do feel like, again, a lot of these guys, I mean, Shedeur Sanders wasn't there. He is a legitimate Power 5 safety. He was starting playing in a big part of what was going on at South Carolina before he went to Jackson State to follow his dad. He wasn't in the game yesterday because of the fact that he hadn't graduated yet. He's coming in as a graduate transfer after the season, so he wasn't there. Cormani McLean, another guy that wasn't there. You're going to see some differences there. Now, where I think they're really probably going to struggle a bit, from what I can tell on this transfer portal list, is at that defensive line position. Just like, a lot of places, that's where you're going to struggle, right? I do feel like you're probably going to find some guys that are going to fit in very well. We'll kind of see where that ends up. But I do feel like, something else to consider is this. Guess what? On Friday night, Colorado had a record-setting NIL event take place in the Boulder area, which means that for all of you folks that believe Coach Prime when he continually spouts off, we're not about NIL, we're about NFL. Well, I mean, I know that's all well and good to say, but the truth is, if you're going to play with the big boys and want to win like the big boys, you got to play like the big boys. And he knows that. He's not crazy. He knows that. Some of these guys are going to get more than others, but he knows that if he's going to really compete for some of these top players, they're going to have to cough up some cash. That's why don't believe for 1 second that even the people around CU don't know that and aren't going to get the money together to make that happen. Now, will Coach Prime and his staff get them all? No, he's not going to get them all. He's not going to get every recruit that he goes after, right? Will he get enough of them? Yeah, I think he will. I think that by fall comes around, he will have reloaded with the players that he needs to go out and compete. Are they going to win every weekend? No. Are they going to probably lose a game or two here and there that maybe you think that they shouldn't? Maybe. I still believe that they come out, they beat TCU, who lost a lot of players off of that CFP championship game team a year ago. that would had a ton of those super senior 25-year-old guys that have been around for a long time, right? Those guys aren't there anymore. Quentin Johnston's not there anymore. Max Duggan's not there anymore. I like their quarterback that they do have, but I'm just not sure that you can bounce back from a 65 to what was it? It wasn't good. Okay. It was ugly. Now, I'm just not sure that you're going to bounce back from that right away. I also know that they have changed offensive coordinators there at TCU. I think they're going to struggle. The Nebraska game the week after that, I believe that Matt Rule might be stepping into a little bit of it there, trying to take on Coach Prime so much. I'm not sure why he's even doing it. It's weird to me. But they weren't great either. Okay. Not great either. They were trash. They lost to Northwestern last year, right? Not good. Okay. So they've got a long ways to go as well. And they're not doing as well in the transfer portal as Coach Prime. So to me, that's 2 wins right off the bat. I still think that the biggest part of the Pac 12 is not going to be great. I mean, I think that you have Utah, and I think that you have obviously USC is going to do its thing. You have Oregon, and then you have Washington. Oregon State could be pretty good with DJ Uiagalelei there as well. There's some schools that are going to give them a hard time. But what I would tell you is that there's going to be some schools that they're going to beat too. Do they win at minimum 7, 6, 7, 8 games? Maybe, maybe not. I don't think that they win any less than 5 or 6 though. I really don't. And I'm going to stick with that for now. I'm going to stick with that for now. And I've even said before, I think that they can win 7 games. Do I think it's a little harder, now that, looking at this? Probably. But I would also tell you, just like I'm going to tell you in my next video, it's kind of easy to overreact from these spring games and what you think you saw, what you think you have seen coming from them. What did you see really? You saw them go in there and light up the scoreboard a little bit on offense. You saw some defense that you probably didn't like. But there was also some plays that the defense made, special teams made, that should have given you a little hope as well. And in the end, they do have some amazing coaches on that side of the football too. Mike Zimmer is one of their guys that's a integral part of their defense. Coach Prime himself is going to coach up those corners and all the secondary guys. And you still have some of those dudes coming in that aren't there yet. Are they going to be better? Yes. I think they'll already be better on defense at some point in the year than what USC is going to be. So that tells me right there, if you can even just hang around with them offensively, and I think they will be able to, when you've got guys like Jimmy Horn Jr. and Xavier Weaver coming in from South Florida like that, you're going to have weapons. Montana Lemonious Craig, maybe it's a shock to him because he did look good the other day, but I don't think he's better than either one of those other guys. And I'm not sure that you don't see them end up well. You just did see, as a matter of fact, I saw somebody who just committed just recently, Willie Gaines from JSU, who was a big contributor for them a year ago, already has, a good connection with Shedeur. I think it's going to all work itself out, folks. I really do. And the haters are going to be there. Oh, haters. The haters are going to be there. And until you go out and start winning these games, they're going to stay there. That's one of the things that always works. No matter what, the haters are going to get their loud voices out there a lot, right? Twitter, places like that. It's just rampant with people talking a bunch of trash. That's how it's going to be. All I know is this. I said this before, and I'll say it again. I don't know anything that Coach Prime has ever failed at. He's always been the man. He said it himself in the Pivot podcast. I'm a darn winner. I agree with him. He is. We're going to see how it transpires in this first season. No matter what, I think that they're headed in the right direction. Whether they win 5 games this year or 10, I don't care. They're headed in the right direction. Okay. Everybody needs to calm down. It'll be okay. And enjoy what you're seeing. It's okay to be happy about what's going on over there. When you're already selling out the place, you know, that helps with, I guarantee you, no matter what, if you've got the NIL opportunities for these kids, and then you have the atmosphere that you're going to have around that place along with it, you're going to attract a lot of those players. And that's all there is to it. Let me know what you think in the comments. I suspect I'll probably take a beating from some of you. Some of you will probably like it. But I would tell you that I do believe that these guys are going to get it together, and you're going to see a lot different team on the defensive side of the ball. I think that you should have seen that Shedeur can play. He can throw it. He can move around. And they have some, I mean, Travis Hunter is no joke either, and I think he's going to be really good on both sides of the ball. Some of those additions come in, it should work itself out. But let me know what you think in the comments. You can always support the show, and it's very important for us. Make sure that you hit that tip button, help us out a little bit with that. You can buy podcast merchandise. If you're a Colorado fan, we have some Haters gear up in there. And I actually wanted to talk to some of you guys about what are some designs that we could come up with that would be something you'd want to wear. Hats, shirts, whatever it is. Let me know in the comments on that as well, and we'll work on it. Let me know what you think about the stuff that's already in our podcast merchandise shop that's right above me. And obviously, you can buy all your official CU gear straight off of our Fanatics website. And, all you got to do is use our link. You get up to 65% off everything in the store. We're going to get a small commission. You get a great deal. It's a win-win there. Hey, the free way, obviously, to help out the show, just hit the like and subscribe button. If you're not already a subscriber to the program, be sure that you do that. And share us with somebody else that you know wants to watch great college football content. We're bringing it to you week after week, and we're going to start going live very often throughout the week, the closer that we get to the season. I'm excited about it. Can't wait to get on these shows. But, we're definitely looking to up our game a little bit, just like everybody else. Let us know how we can do that. Guys, thanks a lot for showing up. I will see you on the next one. Oh, haters. Hey, you guys all know the drill, right? Say it with me. Smash that red subscriber button. Like our videos. And don't forget to ring the notification bell so you don't miss one moment of the Hall of Fame College Football Podcast. Hey, we even have amazing pod merchandise right here in our store. Hey, while you're here, don't forget to check out all these other amazing channels and subscribe to them too.